Hello there! Today we're going to be building a house. It's actually going to be pretty simple, so let's get into it. I've permanently locked the time at day, so this is going to be a house built for daytime. But to start, you're just going to want to grab some different colored wool or something to make an outline with. I'm using wool of poopy thing is. Well then, anyway, to start off, you're just going to make some cubes in the ground. Don't have to be perfect cubes, as long as they're cube-like. For example, I have this cube, not cube, square, and then I'm going to place a note of that over there. I'm going to place another square or rectangle shape right over here, if the blocks would align. So now we already have this. This already works for layout, but it isn't really a good layout. So now what I'm going to do is I want to place this right here. And remember, this is just basic outlining. For example, this area right here is going to be a really tall-ish house. This part right here is going to be sort of a crisscross to the entrance to both here and here, which is going to be a few blocks off the ground. Now we just got to use white wool, especially since the viewing angle will be from this point up. Now we just got to mark out the top of the builds. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be going to this, building a few blocks up, and then just marking out cubes. Once you've done this, then we will get started on the next part. So cut to then. And done. Ta-da! Cube shapes all set out. This is what the outline for the build is going to be. You can make this taller or shorter. I'm going to keep it like this. I'm probably going to add in some offjuts, this part right here, and who knows. But now then, let's get to building. So in order to do this, you're going to want to pull up some references. Of course, you could just not use references, but then what are you going to do? What are you going to look at? Because going at it blind is really hard. So I recommend finding images of what you find inspiring to do this. And now for this, let's get a building. At the base here, I want to add sort of a mossy green part, because greenery is really important to your build, and you just don't want to jump straight into the building of the actual building. Because, hey, we're in Minecraft. You can take as much time as you need, as much time as you want. It doesn't really matter. You can do what you'd like with what you build. This is simply an option. And I choose to procrastinate. If you wish to get straight on to the building part, there will be a little pop-up down in the corner right there, that will tell you what time to skip ahead to. Anyway, let's get building with this green area. So just start off by adding in some moss as a ground part area thing. I don't know what I'm talking about. And with this will make it that way it doesn't look bad. Now, as we're doing this, time to talk. What do you like about Minecraft? I really like to just build. I have a creative world that's just building. This is how I play Minecraft. And I do it without actually expecting that much to happen. Because, who knows? My last few videos have gotten no views. Who knows? Maybe someone will watch this. Anyway, next up, we are going to be adding in some stone. So just head over to get some bricks, get some mossy bricks, get some, go down here, I will get some stone. I will also be getting some cobblestone and mossy stone. And then, ta-da, now we have this part, which is going to be this little area right here. But at the start, we're going to be having moss sort of creeping out the sides, because if you're going to add in stuff, there has to be a reason for it, and the reason for the moss is that there's going to be plant life. There's going to be more plant life added on top of the moss, but the moss is just going to serve as a base for that. Then from here, we want to add in mossy cobblestone mixed with the occasional block of regular cobblestone. Now, the reason for this, and the reason that, of course, there's not going to be a back to this build as much, because the main focus is just going to be from the viewing angle. The reason that you're going to want to be doing this is so that way your build tells a story. For example, the story of this build is that it's pretty old. It's starting to get overgrown at the base, and that's perfectly okay. For example, but that's not going to be the end of the base, as on top of that, you also have to not have... I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to skip ahead to the next part. Now we have a wall. Please ignore that there's nothing over here and there's no back. We're just focusing on this wall right now. And now for this wall, we gotta focus on where is the door gonna be. I'm planning on putting the door right here, so let's carve out 4 blocks. And then let's carve out another 2 on top, and then let's head over to here. Yep. Let's get some stairs. I'm gonna be just doing if I can find them, the bricks and the regular stone. And then let's also get some slabs. I'm just gonna be, for this, getting some of this and some of these, and then going over to here, gonna get one of these and one of those. So now we have this. Now, next thing we gotta do is we gotta figure out a way to get up to the entrance right here, which is actually pretty simple. Who would have thought Minecraft isn't extraordinarily difficult? Couldn't have been me. Anyway, for this, it's really simple. You just want to throw on some stuff that you think looks cool. Is there seriously no stairs? Seriously? Oh, wait, no, there are. There are. Never mind. We're not going to be using those stairs. I don't like how they look with this. I'm going to be using this and one of those blocks right there. No. One of those blocks right there. And then we're going to be tossing some mossy cobblestone on top of that because this area right here is pretty mossy. And then I'm gonna add on top of here one of those and one of those. You know what? Yeah, let's have that. Then let's add in some outer block bits right here, just to make sure that this has some 3D texture. Because one of the easiest ways to elevate your build is to make it 3D. Minecraft is a 3D sandbox game. So by having stuff jut out of the walls, you make it look better. It's just a given fact that it looks cool. Ta-da, it looks cool. Yay. Anyway, I'm going into this with no script or anything like that. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyway, on top of that, if you want to make sure, if you want to get at least some sort of vertical slab, you can add in a wall and then just have nothing behind said wall. So I'm just going to do that real quick for a few blocks, like that. And then with that, we can add in another piece jutting out right here. With that. And then on the side here, we can just have some stone wall going up this way. We can have some regular wall heading out this way in this sort of direction. And then from there, just got to add in a few bits of a walkway of some sorts. And then ta-da, we've made it into our entrance. And now, of course, this doesn't actually look all that good because there's nothing to pop. So let's get some spruce and dark oak trap. Yeah, it is called dark oak trapdoors. And just chuck them up all around. We can add one right here, and then we'll place something on top of it. Maybe we could put some of the the dark oak trapdoors right over there. This will just make some color pop and go out and explode from the build. You can also do things such as adding hanging signs. I'm personally going to be using a pale oak hanging sign because I find it the most beautiful of the hanging signs. I'm just going to add 3 and just keep them blank because I don't want to write stuff on the hanging signs. Or maybe I'll write this. What is this? What is this? What's this? It's writing on its own. Oh no, I guess you have to do that. Oh wow. Oh no. Oh no. What was that? Who knows? Maybe we'll never know. Anyway, now that you have this and sort of this jutting out right here, you can do things such as adding in some lanterns, because there's got to be a light source somewhere. I'm just going to toss one down right there. Boom, you got a walkway. You can also do things such as right in this area right here. And add in those. And then we got to have the door, because of course there's got to be a door. So let's just go here. Now, here's an important thing to remember when building, which is that it's your choice. I personally chose to do this for the entrance. I'm going to be adding in a bit of a path right here, but you could also do anything you want. This is only a little stone bit right here. And you know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to make this bit right here a balcony. So let's start off by getting some chains. Because remember, you should just let your imagination flow. You should do what you want to do because this is your choice. Anyway, for this, I'm just going to be placing down 1, 2 chains, and then I'm going to place down a covered brick wall, and then a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and another brick wall. And then I'm going to be placing down a 1 and a 2. Ah! Ta-da! I have a little rooftop area right here. Can you understand this voice? Can you understand it? And ta-da! Rooftop area, yay! Let's get started on this part right here. So for this part, I'm going to be teaching you about gradients. What are gradients? They're really simple. They're just a mixture of blocks that look good together. And for this, we're going to be doing a blue to yellow gradient. So in order to get blue wood that looks good, I'm going to be using these warped stems. I know in an earlier video that you can go watch if you want. I did say warped stems didn't look all that good, but honestly, they can look pretty good. Anyway, next up, and of course, we are going to be using stripped oak. Stripped oak works good as a yellow. And so this is our palette. So we're going to be going birch, stripped oak, this, this, this. This is, I know it seems like a harsh transition, but it's going to look good. Don't worry. Actually, no, I'm going to swap this one and this one. Yeah, I like that better. So let's start off by just getting rid of this sort of base area right here and replacing it entirely with your block palette of choice. Keep in mind, once again, this is not a tutorial. This is a bunch of tricks built into stuff as I build a video. Not a video, a base, a build, a thing. This isn't a base. This isn't functional as base. This isn't going to be functional. Its sole purpose is to look good. I build in creative. I haven't played survival in close to 6 months because the last time I did, I died 15 times and barely beat the Ender Dragon. So I'm done with survival. I'm playing creative from now on. You can judge me all you want in the comments. Go on. You can judge me. It's okay. I respect you for being able to voice your opinion, but this is not a tutorial. This is simply building, and building is fun, and I simply want to share that with people. So, yay! Maybe like and subscribe. Maybe. It's up to you. It's okay if you don't, but please do. Anyway, as we did, I'm getting mixed around, and as we do this, don't forget, ta-da! You have your base. I guess this part is technically also going to be in the viewing area, so we gotta add in the groundwork for this. Little bits of ground and up, and this part goes up as well. Next thing we're going to be doing, what's next in our palette? Be sure to check back to your palette. Oh, it's warped. I had to stop recording for a second and I have no idea where I am. Let's just continue building. Let's go. Woohoo! Yay! Yippee! And we have our wall pretty built out at this point, and as you can see here, it doesn't look half bad. I expected this to look terrible. I honestly did not expect it to look this good. I expected it to look far worse, and I am surprised, and I am happy, and I'm content with this. Now, I feel like this shouldn't extend as far up, and I'm going to replace this with this one. But yeah, I'm happy with this. Now let's add on some bricks. So, as I said before, I'm going to be using a red harsh palette with this. Something that looks good is when things pop, as I said before, and I will continue to repeat and die by. So yeah. Anywho, for this, we're going to be using mostly mud, polished granite, and bricks. So let's grab in some mud over here. And in slabs, I'm just going to pull out some polished brick and some mud. And yeah, let's get a building. Where's my brick stairs? Did I put them in my inventory, right? I put them in there, right? Anyway, for this, we're gonna be having a little area right here. So let's just assign this little bit right here. This is gonna be sort of a sunroom sort of thing. Just gonna come off. It's gonna create sort of a shadow in the build, and in this part, we're just gonna want to have a bit of a roof. It shows up right here. So now we gotta go out like that and just build all the way along and all the way. Why is all the way across? There we go. There we go. Now we have this, which is a little sort of rooftop bit that I will fill in with some polished granite slabs. And you know what? Yeah, this does need some brick slabs. Should add those in. So let's just quickly add in the last bit of polished granite that we're gonna have right here. And then from there, let's go and get out our brick slabs, so that way this under area doesn't look completely terrible. So remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be palatable. And there we go. We have this, and now you might be wondering why do you just have such a harsh shut off right here? Why does this area look so barren? And that's actually a really simple answer that we can knock out in a quick step, which is greenery. So I know that's bit. It's a bit preemptive to be adding in some greenery, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. I like using mangrove leaves. Mangrove leaves the best, and so I'm just gonna be using some moss carpet around the base right here. I'm gonna be adding in some mangrove leaves at the bottom. I'm gonna be adding on, since we did moss, I can just go and I can tack on one of those small drip leaves there, and one there, one maybe there, and then I can just go on the under area right here and add in one of these for a little bit of flair and pizzazz, and then, yeah, just mess around for a bit, just figure out what you like. I can throw on some vines onto this wall right here, and grow up all creepy and crawly. And grow. You know what? I like that. Wait, am I recording? Is my audio recording? Oh, thank goodness my audio is recording. You know, one time I forgot to press the audio record button and just didn't record any audio. Who would have thunk it? Anyway, now we have this. We have this little corner. It's built out. It's at a acceptable level. Not the greatest level, but it's acceptable. So now we just gotta go. We gotta put all this stuff away. And we gotta build the rest of this. Okay, we're back. And you might be wondering, wait, one sec. In that time lapse, I only saw you build this wall. And these walls. Why'd you leave it mostly unfinished? And the answer for that is the roof. And on top of that, I'm not actually going to be seeing those walls that much, so, because there's just going to be an interior built on top of this, and those can just stay empty, because that's not the viewing angle for this base, or build, or whatever this is. It's this. And then subsequently, the interior, which is going to be a hallway thing that leads from here into this sort of green area right here. But you want to know something? It's time for the roof. We already selected out what our roof palette is going to be, which is going to be polished granite and stairs. So it's going to be a red palette. Now then, to start, you're just going to want to build a like that, and you're going to want to place down like that. And we're just going to want to we're going to build that a little bit more like that. anyway, with this here now and this there, I can't speak. We're gonna be building up. So, what does building up mean? That means just doing this. Just doing this. So we got to about there. I'm gonna be building over a bit. Then we're gonna start the descent, which is going to be boop 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 boop. And ta-da, we've reached the end. Now we have this sort of roof shape right here. Ah! Oh no, I fell! We're just gonna quickly be filling in this roof. Why am I doing this? I could just stop right here. This is good enough. I could say this is good enough, and I could just spend time with this. No. Bad procrastination, but monkey brain. Bad procrastination, monkey brain. You will not procrastinate this. Thou shall not procrastinate the building of stuff. Because stuff needs to get built. And I shall build said stuff. Shall build said stuff. I cannot talk today. I'm sorry. Why am I doing this? I have no clue. But anyway, you clicked on a video to learn about building, and so building shall be what is learned. And I'm gonna edit out most of this out. I'm just realizing that now. Just that I'm gonna edit most of this out. Most of this won't even reach the final video. Now, I'm probably gonna make a video on just all this silly stuff I said while making this video of this video. And ta-da! Now we have a blank wall, a blank canvas for the art to be expressed. And now, what is that art, you might ask? Well, it's Let's just putting a bunch of stuff on this. So grab your stuff, grabby stuff, grabby stuff. Anyway, just grab some stuff and get ready to place it all down. I'm gonna get one of these. No, I already have one of those. I'm gonna get one of these. Now let's place some stuff on here. So one thing that I like. Can you not place crafters upside down? I don't think you can place crafters upside down. Wow. Well, there goes that idea. Anyway, let's just continue on building. And one thing, oh no, I fell. One thing that you can do when building is you can take levers, just place some here and there, and you can place chains on top, so that way they face up like that, and on top of the chains, you're just gonna place redstone torches. This creates lights on the build. Now from here, we can get rid of the chains, we can get some copper rods, and go, and we can just place down the copper rods, so that way, we got sort of this technological side to your build. Don't forget, you still gotta keep the same old sort of framing going around your entire build. However, you can change it up if you would like. Don't forget that the ground is also a part of the build, so you gotta add some stuff on the ground. Of course, something you can do just to avoid having placed stuff on the ground is you can not have ground level. That's something that's always an option that you can do if you would like. Now then, on this area up here, I'm going to place the red popping bits, which is just going to be this, that, then take this, break the middle one, add in that, drop on this on top, and then add in a pot, and a lever, and a lever going to the pot. Does that look good? I don't know. I have no clue if that looks good. You don't have to place that much on the back side of your build. just fun to place some stuff there. Unless you're gonna see all the build, you don't have to place stuff. In order to keep the video simple, I'm just gonna be placing a bunch of stuff on one part of the build. Don't forget that for gaps like this, it's always smart to place in at least something. But I can't place in something because there's the slab right there. On top of that, you could also go. You can break this 1, 2, 1. Very suspicious. Anyway, you place those 2 on top there. On top there, and then you can break this block and this block and place this. And from there, we just gotta go up. We gotta place some like this. Yes, like this. You have a little fan on top right here. I know it doesn't. It only looks like a fan from the top. Who would have thought it? But it does make your build look a bit better. And I think that's the most important thing, which is looks. Looks are everything in a Minecraft. This looks like a mini pointer. It's like a chalkboard should be behind me, and I should be scribbling on it. I should be scribbling on the chalkboards. Scribble, scribble, scribble. I should be a teacher in a classroom or something like that, but no, instead I make Minecraft videos. And I enjoy it. I enjoy building stuff. And so now we have this decorated wall, we have this little bit over here, and you can see what it looks like. You can see this. And of course, since I built this really quickly, it will never be as good as other builds, such as, that's the backside build. We don't look at the backside build, such as this, which you can go watch the video on how to build this, which is going to be linked. And it should be popping up right now, along with the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you later. Now, let's point. So, sir, do you think, or madam, or whoever you are, if you watch this point, thank you so much. Do you think that this is a good build? Do you think that this build is infinitely better than whatever this hot, steaming pile of poopy thing is? Well then, be sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you later. Goodbye.